You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters, let's talk about a quarterback that hadn't been a lot of buzz about, a lot of news about as of yet. Now, you may be sitting back going, what is going on here? How come Geno Smith hadn't signed, Kyler Murray, Kirk Cousins? Well, it's because they are not going to be officially on the market till the league year starts tomorrow, okay? Now, does that mean that there won't be a leak or something of this nature, yada, yada, yada? Certain team is expected to sign blah quarterback here. No, that could happen. I mean, somebody could come out with that. A lot of smoke around Kyler Murray, all right, at $1.3 million. I think a lot of people still believe the Vikings are in play. A lot of people thought the Falcons would have been in play, but they went and got themselves a Tua Tagovailoa. Now, again, perfect example. $1.3 million, Dolphins carrying the salary, yada, 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 yada. Geno Smith. Been some rumblings about the Colts there because of Daniel Jones's contract and his Achilles, right? How long is he going to be out? Kyler Murray and the Colts. Been some rumors there. Kirk Cousins and the Colts. I mean, all three of those guys are floating around out there. Well, how about two teams for Kirk Cousins? Two. How about the Cardinals? How about the Cardinals? And we got another team in a minute that is waiting on yet their veteran quarterback to make a decision again. And if he decides not to come back and retires, all of a sudden Kirk Cousins is in play. In fact, let me say this. If he decides to pivot to a different team, Kirk Cousins could be in play. Nobody's saying that out loud. Why is nobody actually saying out loud, Aaron Rodgers is a free agent. He can sign with anybody, including the Vikings, including the Colts. You know, a couple of teams that are viewed as good teams. I would think you'd look probably more at the Vikings than the Colts there, but I'm just throwing that out there. Do we expect him to go back to the Pittsburgh Steelers? Yeah. But there could always be a curveball here. The Cardinals will be cutting Kyler Murray, who will be available to any other team. The Cardinals, meanwhile, will need a new available quarterback. They have Jacoby Brissett under contract for 2026 at a base salary of $5.44 million. And then Monday, they agreed to terms with Gardner Minshew on a one-year, $8 million deal. By the way, that story about Jimmy Garoppolo and the Cardinals, evidently that story was accurate, but they couldn't come to agreement on a contract, which is pretty wild. But yeah, they wanted him, and they couldn't get a contract to work with Jimmy. I don't know what Jimmy's asking for. I mean, what are you doing, Jimmy? The answer could be Kirk Cousins. New coach Mike LaFleur comes from the McVay-Shanahan hive / system. And who is this? Florio? Yep. Mike Florio, you are right. They adore themselves some Kirk Cousins. We all know that. He will be cut on Wednesday. He will be available to any team. And as LaFleur tries to install his offense, he'll want a quarterback who can run it. It would be interesting to see Cousins in the same division as McVay and Shanahan, playing both of them twice per year. That's interesting. Money will be an issue. Cousins has perfected the art of getting paid. He'll command more than $10 million the Falcons owe him for 2026. Look around. Where else could use a QB1? By the way, I brought up Geno earlier, the Jets. That's real too, folks. That Jets-Geno reunion, I can't believe it's real. I get the sense that's where he's expected to go at this point, I would say. And then this came out a little while ago. Kirk Cousins is a fallback option for the Steelers. Jason La Canfora. I mean, it's interesting. The Steelers remain in limbo when it comes to their 42-year-old quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, with the legal tampering window open ahead of the start of the new league year. Rodgers says he doesn't have a contract offer nor a deadline to make a decision. Now, again, and this is SteelersDepot.com. You got to remember something. The Steelers and Rodgers had a deal last year while the media for 2 months straight, by the way, on this channel, I kept saying he's going to the Steelers, and Mike Tomlin already knows it. There's been a verbal agreement there. I mean, it wasn't hard to figure that out. I'm no mother effing insider. You could just tell that it was a done deal, and that's why there was no urgency. All right, with the situation, there was urgency as far as the media was concerned. Oh my God, is Aaron Rodgers going to? Is he not going to? He's going to. All right, could be the same situation here, but I do think retirements. I think you at least have to talk about Rodgers this time, because I do think retirement could be on the table here. Former Vikings quarterback Kirk Cousins is among the top options for Pittsburgh if Aaron Rodgers is not back, according to league sources. While the team is legitimately high on the upside of second-year quarterback Will Howard as well. I really, really would like to see what Will Howard's got. I'm not a Steelers fan. I like that kid. Good size, great arm, cannon, mobility, athletic. John Gruden called him a poor man's Josh Allen. I kind of want to get a look at that dude on the field. But we know he got hurt last year, right? So, but yeah, makes sense. Kirk Cousins going to be in play for about 3 teams. He is. By the way, speaking of somebody in play, if they don't just re-sign him, is Garoppolo's going to be in play too. You know, I'm still leaning towards him going back to the Rams as a backup because they really like him. But Matthew Stafford called Kyler Murray, and word has it he's trying to talk him into coming to L.A. to be his backup and hang out with McVay for a year in that whole rehabilitation process. Now, the whole thing we're not talking about is the fact that Daniel Jones wants a big-ass contract. They got him on the transition tag right now, but they offered him the Sam Darnold deal. That came out. 3 years, basically 3 years, $100 million. And he said, nah, he wasn't taking that. I think it's a pretty fair offer, to be honest. $30 million a year, roughly. I mean, I understand why the Colts are around that number. I don't know. There's rumors he wants 3 years of $150. Daniel Jones or, Kirk Cousins at $12 million. I mean, I don't, I don't know. Kyler Murray at $1.3 million. That's where if I'm the Colts, I would almost sign Murray and be like, okay, Daniel's not ready to play. You go play. And if Kyler plays well, if he looks like a franchise quarterback all of a sudden, then sorry, Daniel. But that salary is, I really like Daniel Jones. I do. And I would have loved to have seen what he looked like throughout the entire year if he hadn't gotten hurt. But I've got a major problem, and I've talked about this more recently. I got a major problem where these quarterback salaries are right now. I do. I mean, I can understand the top 4 guys making a ridiculous amount of money. After about the top 4 guys, I mean, there might be 3 other guys that deserve $50 million, and everybody else ought to be down in that, I don't know, $20 to $35 million range. Not a bunch of dudes making $50 million. It's insane. It's insanity. And you're seeing buyer's remorse. Tua Tagovailoa, Kyler Murray. The Carolina Panthers aren't careful. They're going to be one of those too. Maybe even the Texans. It's a huge year for C.J. Stroud. It's a huge year for Bryce Young. Because, look, in case you didn't notice, Saints got a hell of a lot better yesterday. And Tyler Shuck is for real. So, and the Bucks took a step back yesterday. You know, Carolina may not do so well this year. I understand they made some signings on defense. I get it. But 8-9. 8-9. Tell me what you think. Where's Kirk Cousins going? Tell me in the comments. Where's Kyler Murray going? Tell me in the comments. What would you do with Daniel Jones? Tell me in the comments. Is Jimmy Garoppolo just going to sit around and hold a clipboard? Tell me in the comments. What's Geno Smith doing? I'm going to laugh when Geno has a pretty good year and everybody done wrote him off. I'm going to laugh my ass off. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.